The poinsettia is the official Christmas flower. It is actually not a flower but a cluster of leaves. Mexican legend has it that a poor little girl named Pepita didn't have a gift for baby Jesus and picked out a bouquet of weeds to leave at the nativity scene in her church. Suddenly, the weeds transformed into beautiful red flowers and from then on were called flowers of the Holy Night. Welcome to December's first Kaleidoscope with Savitri Rodrigo. So are you ready for Christmas? We surely are, and we are gifting lots and lots of goodies to our subscribers and followers. Simply subscribe or follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn and enjoy all these wonderful gifts from our amazing partners. Today we check out fashion gone wrong, what makes for sustainable corporate stewardship and get Christmassy with some decor and lots more.
Hold your breath in for a moment. Find your calm. This is the Green Embassy, Homagama. Invest just 3 million rupees to reserve 0710 777 Prime Lands Residencies PLC.
Welcome to Snapshot and a quick look at the week that was. By end 2021, Sri Lankan rubber exports are set to reach their highest level ever, $1 billion. Worker remittances fell for the fifth consecutive month in October, slumping to $317.4 million. From January to October this year, 34 Sri Lankan companies have gone public collectively, raising 109.6 billion rupees through IPOs. The CEO of Macquarie Group, British-born Sri Lankan-Australian Shamara Wickramanayake, is Australia's highest-paid CEO, whose income per annum is currently $15.97 million. An engineer from East London became the first person to receive a fully digital 3D printed eye. Egypt reopened its 3,400-year-old Avenue of the Sphinxes, a 2.7-kilometer road that connects the Temple of Luxor with the Temple of Karnak. We are readying for Christmas with lots of gifts. Just subscribe or follow us. It's that simple. Welcome to Prime Group Kaleidoscope and our news capsule. Each year, the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce felicitates corporate stewardship via its Best Corporate Citizen Sustainability Awards. This year, of the 63 applicants, a panel of judges meticulously evaluated the best corporate citizens for 2021. Winning the prestigious overall award this year was Commercial Bank of Ceylon, and coming in first runner-up was Citizens Development Business Finance. I caught up with both the Managing Director of Combank, S. Ranganathan, and Aroshi Ranatunga, CDB's Head of Sustainability. Let me ask you both. What do you think are the fundamentals of a good corporate citizen?
The corporate should have not only the focus of making profits, but also the focus towards people and the planet.
To become a good corporate citizen, I believe corporates must create value beyond numbers. Corporates need to ingrain the core principles of sustainability into corporate stewardship and to the corporate strategy. So it's not just creating economic value, but also building empowered communities while inculcating a sense of responsibility towards the environment we live in. So this is where the tone at the top of corporates is very much important, to set the stage, to truly walk the talk, to ensure a balanced and a sustainable business model to support people inside and out, and to have tangible, sustainable outcomes.
Mr. Ranganathan, what are Combank's key successes that gave it overall winning status?
We have been brought up with 3 C's behind us. First C is the culture. Second is the commitment. And the third one is the concerted efforts. My predecessors, as well as all the teammates of the Combank, all the leaders have been building up the culture in such a strong manner as one bank, one family. That culture and the bonding among the teammates of the bank has brought in a lot of value, which has really helped us to come up as its best corporate citizen. We have gone through good and bad times. Continuously, we have been given the focus of continuous concerted effort towards what we want to achieve.
Aroshi, what would be CDB's key drivers to come in as first runner-up?
Throughout these years, we have been built on the two key enabling pillars of sustainability agenda and tech disruption, and the pillars will be the backbone to reach our ambition of becoming a quadrillion asset base by 2030. So I believe the key element that made this win is that we understood the strategic need for embedding sustainability into our corporate strategy, and it made us to demonstrate unwavering resilience while building confidence in all our stakeholders.
The Colombo stock market had a good run this week, reaching a market capitalization milestone of 5 trillion rupees. This week, the all-share price index remained unchanged, with the daily turnover averaging a healthy 9.4 billion rupees. Fears that Omicron would slow down economic recovery saw WTI oil dropping quite rapidly this week to below $66.50 per barrel. Gold prices also dropped to $1,778 per ounce as the US dollar continued to remain firm. 30 endangered white rhinos from South Africa took a jumbo ride in a Boeing 747 to their new home in Rwanda in a world's first relocation exercise of this size. Australia's Great Barrier Reef exploded with colour when corals spawned billions of offspring, casting sperm and eggs into the ocean. The event lasted about 3 days.
Hold your breath in for a moment. Find your calm. This is the Green Embassy, Homagama. Invest just 3 million rupees to reserve 0710 777 Prime Lands Residencies PLC.
Next up, making all the wrong fashion statements. That's on Selinco Life. Let's talk.
Making all your new goals in life a reality is why our strength is your strength. With 12 billion rupees worth of customer benefits in 2020 and a life insurance fund worth over 100 billion rupees, our strength is your strength. You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Selinco Life.
Fashion as an art is subjective, but fashion when worn must flatter the wearer. Wearing something just because it looks good on a model on the ramp doesn't make fashion sense. Am I right, Stefan?
The question itself, I think, Savi, has a lot to do with what we have in this country in terms of a choice. You know, what is the choice? What is the design choice we have? Do people have a choice of, or do really they need to go with what's available in the market? So I think that's a huge thing as well. Having said that, I believe that you need to be very conscious about what you're purchasing, because you need to understand that you're the one walking out in there. You're looking at a model on a runway, fair enough, but then looking at a picture of a model in that outfit. But then, are you that picture? Are you that person? Are you that size? Are you that? So I think this is where the cross needs to take place. You need to really. So yes, I do honestly believe that most people do not have that eye when it comes to understanding what it should be.
So Stefan Joachim, my guest on Selinco Life Let's Talk today, is a designer with over 30 years experience who used his creative fundamentals to move into progressive design, which is where he is today. Stefan, having worked through 3 decades of design, cast your critical eye on the Colombo fashion scene, and what do you see?
The latest thing I see is that people throw on this sort of gathered curtain balloon silhouette and then tie it around with this belt or this cord, which they consider fashionable. I think it's also an answer to being quite lazy in terms of I think your structure, your body, as well as also what you want to throw on, because it almost feels like a last minute resort. Like if I have nothing to throw on, I will throw on the largest piece of fabric I can find and tie a belt around it. Of course, it probably has a label attached to it, and they feel that is probably the answer to, their fashion.
So what are the main no-nos when it comes to being with it in the fashion stakes?
The biggest no-no for me is a shapeless silhouette. That's like the easiest answer to everything today. Just throwing on shapeless stuff and just throwing on a belt, which takes me to my next no-no, which is wearing a branded belt or a branded whatever around this little balloon silhouette, and then or carrying a bag, which for some reason everybody feels that you need to have some little designer object on you, and showing it off. I mean, you can carry a bag on your side, but you don't have to carry it in front of you, and prove exactly what you're carrying. So those two no-nos are definitely there. The third no-no is not really clothes related, it's more I think makeup related, but it's a total look. I believe that once you finish dinner or once you finish your drink, what we see shouldn't be your lip liner. We should see a complete lip, because it's actually quite a scary sight to see these women walking around with a lip liner and nothing else, filling in the gap, as it were.
So what does someone need to be aware of what suits them and what doesn't?
Honestly, I think it boils down to really taste, to be very honest with you. I think it's also what a designer dictates most often than never. But then you have to go back to exactly who you refer to as a designer, because you can end up, because technically to me in Sri Lanka you have a lot of glorified English speaking tailors. There are no designers, because if you look at people even understanding whether it's a fashion show or whether it's an understanding of a collection, there's a brief. Anybody needs to follow a brief. Like, if you look at, say, London Fashion Week or you look at New York Fashion Week, you're not going to London Fashion Week, a spring-summer collection, and seeing an autumn-winter collection. You are going to see spring-summer. Most audiences are semi-literate when it comes to things like this, but when you're going completely with a blind audience, you need to be able to understand that they are also looking towards you for direction, because in that case, why would you actually have something that you would call a directive when it is not a directive? Clearly it's not here.
So if they're looking at trends over Christmas and going into 2022, what do you see?
Sri Lanka, very fortunately, has one long season. Very fortunately, we have our evening events, we have our day events, but I think this country can have like very beautiful, soft, kind of silhouettes, very, very flowy silhouettes. They can be tight, they can be short, but essentially ideally should be tropical, right? What we are probably going to see are big sequin balloons again tied up with a rope in the middle, or something to that effect, which is what, if I'm placing my money on, would be the case. But ideally there should be silhouettes that's probably flattering to your silhouette.
Mirror, mirror on the wall comes to mind. Thank you, Stefan, for that no-holds-barred look at what fashion should look like, but what might actually be like. We have lots of goodies to gift this Christmas. 2-night stay at Tharuvilas, 1 night at Sigiriya Kings Resort, dinners at Kingsbury and Shangri-La, vouchers from Bayleaf, Commons and Harpo's Pizza, hampers from Park Street Gourmet and Rodrigo's, 2 gift packs for him and her from Healing Island, and the super interesting book My Checkered Life by Nihal Jinasena from Pereira Hussein. Well, it's surely time to get ready for Christmas. Maritza Antonis is the person to get you into the mood. She's been doing Christmas decor for nearly 30 years. And here's some of her handiwork on Life in 60.
Golden bells are sounding merrily and cheerful choirs are gaily caroling, and we can say with all sincerity and sing of a Merry Christmas.
Every steeple shine.
Doing what I love and loving what I do. Christmas decorating has been my passion since I was a little girl. So I'm thrilled and happy to be able to be doing it as an extension of my profession, event management.
Rejoice, sing of a Merry Christmas.
Whether you've been naughty or nice, our Kaleidoscope Santa might be nice to you. So don't forget to subscribe and follow us. Catch you next week, and a thought to remember with our Kaleidoscope takeaway. The best Christmas gift is to realize how much you have.